the pyramid being the huge ones. And they don't really have a way to lock down the Tidehunter at the moment without him getting his Ravage off. Because the Fiend Script gets taken off by the Kraken Shell. The RP would get taken off by the Kraken Shell. So basically, I think what Ice is going to do here is put himself on the front line and basically say, if you want to get to these guys, I'm going to be the bouncer.
You got to get through me.
Exactly. I love how you did that for me.
Oh, welcome. You're welcome. I'm just filling in your blanks.
I'd like to see. I'd like to see possibly a Viper pick here for Empire. I think would be pretty good for the Nether Toxin, for the break, and I think it gives them some good laning potential. But okay, I think this is better for them now because what happens here is if they don't pick up their carry, Mineski are going to start banning out those really good heroes for the Empower with the Slardar, and I think that was the right choice for them to pick it up there.
Yeah, Juggernaut with that the Empower. He could even go for a Battle Fury as well, and then just make those RP Omni Slash combos absolutely ridiculous. It would be a lot of commitment.
They picked up it's definitely game 3 where they had the Tidehunter and the DP. And it feels like it's going to be difficult for Empire to ever take a 5-on-5 engagement into Mineski at the moment, unless they can kind of burst down this DP at the start, maybe get a nice Omni Slash off on top of her. But when I imagine the DP is going to get a Yules, they kind of just need some kind of control. And get the Omni Slash on top of the DP and just burst her down straight away. So I imagine Nana on this DP is probably going to go for a relatively early A on this to try and help her. And then at that point, not sure what Empire do. I think they need an answer to this here.
I think it's a little bit risky if they do that though, because then they've got the Tidehunter just waiting and they're still to pick up this core, and they're going to pick up the Troll Warlord as well for Mineski. So if you do decide to drop everything on this Death Prophet, then well, you're going to get RP, and then you're going to have a Troll on you as well, which is not a pleasant situation to find yourself in.
That's true. The problem is I see with Troll at the moment, it's not a problem as such, but it's got a really bad win rate, I think, at Epicenter so far. I don't know what the actual stat is, but it must be something. I think it's probably only got one win or something so far, and it's been picked quite a relatively high amount of times. So Troll not looking in such a good place at the moment in this tournament, but I don't think that means the hero can't work at all. And it is a good matchup against the Juggernaut.
Well, Maposhka just talking, giving those encouraging words to his team as they get into game number 2. And they're going to have to fight for this one. On the draft, who's got it for you?
I'm going to go with the Mineski. Not necessarily on the draft, but I think they are the better team than Empire. I think they have this. I believe in them. They need to go 2-all here. They need to give themselves that second win to really help them and give themselves the best chance of getting to the main event. They really want to be there. You know, they're one of the better teams in the terms of DPC points at the moment, and everyone, you know, they want to see them play. They're a fun team to watch. Ice, you know, everybody loves that guy.
True. But, you know, Empire, big RPs, I can see it happening, you know, I can see it. They just need to find the momentum and carry the momentum, you know. Mineski, they're a fantastic team for punishing people. That is what they excel in, I think, is when you go for a gank, Mineski are always able to turn it around on you, and, you know, basically, you get one hero, they get 3. That's what they do best, and I feel like if Empire can figure out a way to counter that, then they could be in a pretty good spot, and Magnus is certainly a half-decent hero for doing it, and I just wonder how much he's actually going to be able to get from this laning phase.
I'm also glad that Empire have picked a hero that isn't quite so single target this time. They've got a bigger teamfight hero in the Magnus, where last game we saw the Legion, we saw the Lina, a lot of burst damage, so they've actually given themselves some answers that they had with problems before.
Sure. And last game also, we saw them kind of try and remedy that problem by putting a little bit more farm into Lesh rack than the STMBs there were in that game. So let's see how we do for game number 2.
I'm hyped for this one. This is not necessarily the 2 best teams that have performed at the tournament so far, but in terms of relative importance, you know, this is massive for them. I don't think we mentioned the Queen of Pain pick at the end of that draft, though, did we?
Not quite. I mean, it came out of that mobile magic nuker on the side of Empire. Yeah,
it's pretty good here because not only is it quite difficult for them to lock down on the side of Mineski, especially when they get the BKB online on the quad, I think it also gives them that burst potential that they really need against the DP. we talked about them needing to use the Omni Slash to be able to bring the DP down. Now, I think if they can just use the Sonic Wave, use the Queen of Pain's burst damage, maybe not so reliant on that anymore, and they might be able to save one of their two big ults on the Jug and the Quap for somebody else.
Ooh, interesting ward thrown down there by the Tide, just in the river. Outside the Roche pit, just goes up on the cliff and then throws it down onto the low ground there. You see that?
Okay, so yeah, that's an interesting one. I'm pretty sure they put it on the cliff at the start of last game, didn't they?
I think so.
Just on that high ground. So not sure about that one. I mean, the good thing about that is it's less likely to be dewarded. But I guess they don't really need to see on their own hill at the start of the game, and it does see a little bit further down the river. So we'll see.
Valuable, valuable.
They are going to run this off-lane dual lane though for Jabs and Ice on the Nature's Prophet and the Tide.
And Ice, he's got some pretty good stats on this Tide Hunter, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's something stupid like a 73% win rate, I think it is, over all time. Not even within a time period. This is his whole time of playing Dota. And look at the starting items. It's actually gone for a Blightstone on the Tide, so what this does is it allows Jabs to go for the Orb of Venom on the Nature's Prophet, and you kind of really want the Blightstone as well, because the damage from the Nature's Prophet and the trees then gets amplified, and when you have the Gush as well, the Anchor Smash being physical damage, that's a really good laning setup, and I think that's the right item choice there for Ice on that Tide.
Well, 3 mangoes on the watermelon. Could it get any better? And also with the Blightstone as well, you know, these crazy builds coming out with the new patch, but with the much cheaper mangoes than they used to be. Let's see how it goes. I mean, this top lane, you know, it's going to be pretty violent as Poshka is taking so much here. He's got to be careful. He's actually blocked in by the trees. Can they get one more right click off, or is it going to just top to the poison? One more right click comes through, but Poshka goes down, and Jabs is getting a really big kill to start things off. And actually, Yoki's got to be careful here as well, as they will chase him off into the tree line.
Yeah, that's all in the power of the level 1 Gush from Ice there as well. Just the amount of negative armor coming out. The trees doing damage, the slow from the Orb of Venom. I just want to put something out here. They've actually put FN on the carry, and the Naive is playing the Quap mid. So they've swapped things up again like we saw yesterday in their game 3. Let's see if it works out for them, because I'm personally not so sold on this.
Okay, well, we'll see how that goes for them. Meanwhile, the top lane, more action. They're trying to bring down Yoki here. They don't seem to have any more right clicks to follow through. Ooh, Jabs dropping very low. Needs to be careful. Yoki does have that stun, I think. And will throw it out, but it's too much damage as Ice will get the kill. Jabs is getting down onto the low ground. The block from Ice stops Poshka being able